the Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
This is a private area, sir. Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait. Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlyle.
Please do.
If you follow me. I know I ought to say anything, but it's strange. Preparing to have a funeral and then she turns up alive. But then the awful business with her brother Zachary, and all this security. I've never seen a place guarded like this, and I dare say I don't like it at all.
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about the theft.
What did she say?
Well, we might have a situation. Sweeping area. Over. Don't worry about that. Hello?
Yeah, hey, bro.
Sir, just wait a second. Sir, you're not authorized to be here. I'm glad we speak the same language, sir. Alpha 6, stand by to stand by.
What? Whatever.
short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
I have yet to see a mystery I have solved. And I don't give a toss about my fame, if that's what you're worried about. Mine,
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
You assume too much, Madam Carlyle. The crime scene, if such exists, is never where I begin.
Do as you wish. However, I expect a result in a timely fashion. Fernsby will take over from here.
I'm Mr. Fernsby, the butler. I will try to assist you as best I can. Where would you like to start your investigation, sir?
Where's the family? I like to prime the suspects a bit.
Madam Carlyle's family members are all on this floor. Maybe start in the sitting room. If you'll follow me, this way.
Figures.
Hey, please!
Planting seeds that will grow into telling actions.
I see. Do you wish to plant any such seeds? Before
I already have. And fruit, stay there. You are not self-control and always.
I wouldn't know. Inspect the crime scene.
Just one question. Is that burned leather I can smell? Unusual for a butler to burn leather.
I don't know what you
Seeds, Mr. Fernsby. Seeds.
Okay. You think that was anything?
It does not. Oh, just a little one.
Of all people, you heard me, and when you saw me, you climbed a tree.
Hello? Is anyone there? Who's throwing stuff around?
I could say...
Gregory, don't say more to that weird detective than you need to.
I was just having a laugh, dear. Must admit, he's pretty good.
What if he believes we have something
Sorry, man, but you're just making me feel a little uncomfortable now, okay? Oh, man. What was that noise? No! No! No!
If you're dressed like a Detective 47, you might as well act the detective. I suggest you go talk to the butler.
Mr. Whitmer, are you ready to inspect the crime scene now?
I am.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather
good today,
unusual
sir.
situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Zachary's suicide. Note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died.
Just remembered,
And
I went
before
for a
you
stroll
ask,
behind the
no,
greenhouse last
I
night.
do not have
Maybe
an
that's
alibi.
where it is.
What is?
I was alone
My
in
lost
my
button.
office at
One
the
you
time
can
of
find at
death.
the graveyard.
Here's the material that I've prepared
Go
for you.
look for it.
It's a list of the possible
Now?
suspects and their
Good
quarters.
idea.
Hopefully
Yes.
that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Pacey, for God's sake, Emma.
But why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody rude, that's what it is. Making us come here to play funeral and then show up like nothing's the least bit strange.
Oh, don't get your knickers all twisted.
I'm telling you, she's not fit to be in charge anymore.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach! Huh. Such a... sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all? Not very...
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing, really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Anything else you want to know?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
I need to stop thinking about Emma all the time, but she just makes me so angry.
What is it?
She turned up and demanded to come up with Madame Carlyle's bedroom. We're the new heads of the family after all. It is only fitting, she said. Gregory stopped.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office. Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself.
So, how long have you been working here?
About a month now.
You're American. What on earth are you doing in this shithole? A girl like you belongs in clubs in London. I bet you're a great dancer.
I don't like dancing.
What about restaurants then? You like food? I know some great places. You should come visit. I'll take you somewhere really nice. Spend a few bucks. A girl like you deserves that.
I don't know.
Sorry, but I think Right.
Yeah, what you said.
Do I like him, or do I like the fact he's not another knuckle-dragging rugby ball?
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
Excuse me? Did you just... Did he... Okay. Stop!
A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing? Now this is interesting, 47. A letter... from Emma's mother, stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens. That is the door to Rebecca's room. I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference. Call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
Aaron Ford Jr.
It doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist?
Right.
Stand back, please. I will investigate.
Exactly. I think I'm insane.
This all confirmed that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47. That is Alexa Carlyle, unofficial leader of the Provenance Partners, and last one to be alive.
To protect the Carlyle legacy, what bollocks. It's all gone, I fear. That bloody Arthur Edwards, how did I not see it? I doubt our big brother could have botched it up any worse than I have, even if he'd tried.
That American lawyer in the small office, did you check his travel documents?
I vetted him thoroughly. He's good.
Yeah, I can't let you pass. I'm sorry, sir.
Mr. Patrick, can I do anything?
Mary is so upset. And she's never seen a dead body before.
Poor thing.
And that detective asked to come here. Madame Carlyle must believe Zachary was murdered. Why else ask him to snoop around?
So many on call for a pretend.
Bad news, actually.
I don't believe for a second that Zachary committed suicide. We'd only just run through his plan for the spring seedlings yesterday.
Yes, sure.
I'd stay worried about how things will be handled with Gregory and Emma taking over. I said that let's say...
Looking good, man. Looking good.
It feels like I can't breathe. There, the tension, off the thought.
Frankly, fucking ass falls down.
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
Now Zachary won't get to see the rhododendron very Indian
What are you doing? You've got to leave right now. Please.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there
anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to. Oh, the bell. Better be Mother explaining what the hell's going on.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Right,
Oh,
we've
yes,
waited long
this
enough.
dreadful
And I want to
business
keep
with
this
Zachary.
short. I know you have a lot
stay
of
at the local inn.
questions. Some
You see,
I
I
will
prefer not to
answer
spend
now.
the
The
night
rest
here at
will have
Thornbridge
to
Manor.
wait. First,
Father Gregory came up for a
Zachary's
nightcap.
sudden death is a great
never admit it,
tragedy,
but I think he
but
understands that I found
also
this
a
whole thing
great
upsetting
inconvenience, as it
and
happened
wanted to provide
just
some
now.
comfort.
I'm dealing with the
I believe we
situation
went to the
in a
Stag's Head
discreet
around 8:30.
and efficient way, and I
that's all,
expect your
I have a
cooperation
speech to
in
write.
all related matters. Secondly,
Can you tell me about
the
Zachary's
arranged
behavior
funeral event
last night?
tomorrow
I certainly didn't
will
expect him to
take
commit
place
suicide.
as planned.
Sure, he
No
was
one
upset by
can
Mother's
know that I am
supposed death.
still alive. I expect you all to act your part.
But he seemed more
Last,
engaged than usual.
As you all know,
You should ask
I have
Rebecca.
lot
They
on
had a
my
long
plate
talk.
and need to focus on sorting
Did you know that he
everything out,
hadn't
so
left Thornbridge
please
Manor in nearly 50
do not
years?
disturb me with
His
your
plants,
petty concerns.
Mother, and the staff.
You are all
the company
adults,
he had.
and as part
Anything
of the
else I
elite,
can do to help?
you will eventually have to deal with difficult situations. like this.
Did you notice
Comes
anything
late for
else
most
out of
of
the
you,
ordinary?
but this is a
I mean,
chance
apart
for
from
you
the
to
fact
show
we came
what
here
you
to
are
bury
made
our
of.
mother and she shows up alive and
That
kicking.
will be all.
Zachary found dead in his bed this morning, or perhaps the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy. And Mother will surely have strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
Patrick Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday? Evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind.
Excuse me.
So, is that it?
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow...
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
Yeah, keep it real.
This is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
Sup?
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
Send someone down?
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion.
Gotta be
Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
The butler, Mr. Fernsby, killed Zachary.
Fernsby? Oh, you've got that wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison that killed your brother. Furthermore, I found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother, Montgomery.
That's outrageous. We did no such thing.
No need to feign innocence. I know a killer when I see one, and my discretion is assured. The papers also described how Mr. Fernsby helped you stage the murder of Montgomery as an accident. I believe he killed Zachary not to be exposed as an accomplice to murder.
Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer. He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices... Please remain seated, Mr. Whitmer. Right, where were we? Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer. He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices must be made to secure stability and prosperity. Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room. I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I am sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Arthur Edwards, the Constant. But that must mean you're... I expected you'd show up. But you're not here to kill me. If you were, you would have already. The enemy of my enemy, I suppose. You can have it. You earned it. The file you want is in the safe. Good hunting. I need some privacy. Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle. Mission complete. Well done, 47.
47. They're everywhere. Go, get out! It's the Constantine. Shit!